So the big question, can Ireland come back after the early setback? They have been rocked in the opening minutes by a very enterprising French side who take them on down the middle, and they advance it up towards the halfway line. But finally the ball has been knocked forward, and the Irish team breathes just a sigh of relief.
Well, what a powerful performance from the French so far. You can see in the anthem the tears in these players' eyes. This game is just on.
Stringer, Costello off the back, but beautifully picked up by Fabien Galthié. He read it beautifully.
Lying on top of the ball, killing it, number 6 on his feet.
So that's against Easterby for killing the ball.
And put that down to the French scrum. Tremendous pressure up front. Beautiful push, straight down the park. Costello having all the trouble in the world trying to take it out, and now they reef the ball and reap the rewards with a line out 15 metres from the line.
Stu, after the early try, this is perfect field position, but look at the pressure from Galthié.
Well, this is where they want to attack Ireland. They want to control the game in their tight five. They're a very well-oiled machine. Good line out, good scrum, great finishes.
And great reward for a perfect start by the French. Now they'll try and roll it on the Irish again. They're 15 metres out from the Irish try line. Repelled initially by the Irish. That's great play, but it's still mobile and going forward. Now a chance to free the backs. Michalak, Jalzian, ball has been knocked back, towed forward by the Irish, and it's into touch. It was from inside the 22, so the kick will take play up about 15 metres outside the Irish 22.
Well, I'm sure Shane Horgan would love to see that ball go further downfield, but the French just the missed timing then on the kick, on the pass, and the ball sails out. But the pressure's still being applied by this French pack.
Number 5 at the back there is Jérôme Thion for the French. Now taken up by Marcadet, the big tight head prop. That's Jalzian. Hat-trick of tries in the opening World Cup match, showing wonderful strength and drive. Terrific leg drive by the big centre. Now Michalak, the playmaker. That pass looked forward, and it's been knocked forward by Jean-Jacques Prenka. And the Irish now will try and work it outside their own 22. O'Gara stepping. Stringer arrives at the breakdown, but
Poor ball.
Oh, tremendous work by Betson, then straight onto O'Gara, and referee Jonathan Kaplan going back for the knock-on.
Time out. Yes, scrum green. Pass forward.
Kids away. Champagne on ice. See you soon. Thank you, Qantas.
so the scoreline reflecting the enterprising start by the French. A terrific try by Olivier Magna.
Jonathan Kaplan giving Reggie Corrigan a little bit of advice in the scrum on his binding, making sure he keeps it up. But O'Gara still on the ground after copping a little bit of treatment from the breakaway surge. Betson came over the top. Fantastic cover of defence. It looked like O'Gara could have got away. But that's what breakaways do. Chop them down at full flight.
Serge Beston, born in Cameroon, and tonight playing his 35th international. He scored 2 tries in his run on debut, coming off the bench against Italy, and then he came on for his first game against Fiji, where he scored the double. And he's also scored 1 try already at the Rugby World Cup 2003. So this is worrying times for the Irish.
Thank you.
With Ronan O'Gara still down injured. But they have a worthy replacement in David Humphreys, who has 59 caps to his credit. Well, the Irish are still singing, but they have been rocked to the rafters early, and there's O'Gara, key player.
It was good enterprise by O'Gara to try and run that ball out from the Irish line.
Another big scrum by the French. They're putting on tremendous pressure at the set piece.
O'Driscoll. Back for Nicholas Brusk. Linking up with the big lock forward in Fabian Palouse. Very experienced lock of the French side. That's the 22-metre line. They're making easy yards, the French. Michalak goes to the line. Here's Betson. Rougerie on the outside. Show him the touchline. Foot into touch, no try.
Well, that was great cover from the Irish that time round, but the French just pushing this ball wide. Serge Betson has been just lurking out there all night. He's got beautiful hands. Sends Rougerie down the line here, but watch the defence come across. And that foot, right foot on the line, that's out.
What a call from the touch judge.
Yes,
that was a
Nigel
hair's
Williams,
breadth in it, wasn't it?
But he got it right.
And the Irish are still down to 14 men with O'Gara off to the sideline. Who will slip into 5'8"?
Back it goes for Dempsey. And he only gains about 15 metres. And they're still working on O'Gara on the far side. He's about to come onto the field. So Ireland back to their full complement. Fabian Palouse, there's O'Gara. He made a great run, but he was thumped. Now, watch the power of this French pack. They roll it forward again. But again, terrific stuff by the Irish. Now they go right. And a chance for the French again. Well, on attack, ill-disciplined play by the French at the breakdown. Not staying on their feet.
Line-out options for the French are really frightening. Harry Northe at the back has been reigning supreme. Tion Palouse. Got plenty of opportunity there. Manya. So Ireland now a chance to take some pressure off as Ronan O'Gara looks to clear.
But again, with the Irish with their backs on the ropes, who comes forward but their captain, Keith Wood. Hooker on hooker, takes a great tackle, rolls Ibanez over onto the Irish side as he should do in the tackle. And the only thing Magnan could do was come in over the top to try and regain the ball.
O'Connell at the front now. Wood loves to run with ball in hand. Keith Wood. He scored 4 tries in a match against the USA in 1999 at the World Cup, which was a sensational performance by a hooker. Great involvement at the breakdown by both teams, and Ireland have the benefit of the put into the ensuing scrum.
No easy yards for the Irish. The French just coming through low, hard, applying the pressure at the breakdown. Stringer has to clear the ball quicker.
Right there, Scrummy. Scrummy out! 9!
Galtier putting pressure on. Now O'Gara. Low angling kick away for Brusk. But the angle and the trajectory of the ball too good. And it turns the French around. And Ireland are in French territory. A rare occasion in this first half so far.
You're right, Fordo. It is a rare occasion. Limited ball. They've got to use this ball. They've got to try and get some points quickly. Get some confidence up. They just can't defend all night. Huge Irish support here at Telstra Dome.
Adadadorki, the number 8. He and Simon Taylor. Just fantastic exponents of their skill and trade. Now a dart from Galtier, 34 years of age, but still fleet of foot. The French captain. Now Michalak. Put under pressure. And that's spun off the side of the boot. Rougerie and a chance for Marsh. What a tackle from O'Driscoll.
And recovers.
Splendid play. That's why they say he's the best number 13 in the world. Brian O'Driscoll. Tremendous play. Stu Wilson, the crowd loved every minute of that.
Well, yet again, it's Michalak that gets them down there with the boot. Empty spaces.
No, it has. Just gone over.
But a superstar play by O'Driscoll. Rougerie is not a stunt when he runs running out there. He's fast, and O'Driscoll made up 5 metres on him.
But Simon, it was the way in which he did it. Full flight, diving, full through. We see Michalak wouldn't be a best kick. It just came off. and bounce the right way. But O'Driscoll does the tackle, gets to his feet, is allowed to play at the ball, sets it up, not only saved a try, got a bit of claret coming from his forehead, doesn't only save the try, but then gets the penalty and again gets the Irish out of trouble.
So we have an injury problem at the front here for the French. It appears to be Marcanet. It's 7-0 to France over Ireland.
"20 nations, 48 games, 1 beer. Heineken."
Well, O'Driscoll and Maggs, the two brains trust in the Irish backline. Just watch this tackle again. This is copybook. The head position, that's where he got the knock. And then he got to his feet. Now, once you're at your feet, you're allowed to play at the ball, and that's what O'Driscoll did. Maggs takes it to midfield. Turnover ball and a chance to strike back by the French. Marsh got it away for Dominici. And there's a wall of green defence there. Betson got it to Fabien Galtier. And that's Jean-Jacques Krenker, the oldest player in the French squad. Second oldest to Fabien Galtier. And now Olivier Magna, the try scorer. Plays is building for the French. Haradadorki slips. Wood is in there. Tried to steal it. It's an Irish ball. Turnover ball for Ireland. And it all came from Haradadorki losing his footing. Now Michalak will put it back into the corner. But the ball bounces infield. Gervin Dempsey, playing in his 43rd international tonight for Ireland, takes play outside the 22.
Michalak, he got back and covered that position for the French. The fullback Rus was caught up. Michalak back straight away. It's just such great professionalism from this French team as Ibanez's jumper is opened up.
Rafael Ibanez, 70th captain Hyde, charges upfield. Tion arrived. Now Fabien Galtier and Betson. This back row of France is very proficient. They've got a great playmaker in Michalak at 10. There he is handling for the second time. The pass has gone astray. Horgan is out there putting pressure on Dominici. Betson in there again, like all good back rowers should be. Now Georgian, Galtier, little pass off the hip, and I think it went forward. And the referee threw the touchdowns on this side. Jean-Jacques Treca gets to his feet.
Well, the French are very deliberate. You know, they've got a very good set pattern. They want the tight five just to get control of this match, allowing their loose forwards to roam around with Betson out in the midfield, out wide. Very simple game plan, get control of the game, and they certainly have.
Stringer tonight becomes the most capped Irish halfback of all time, passing Michael Bradley's tally of 40 test matches. Stringer tonight involved in his 41st.
It's amazing at ground level down here when the Irish defence is just watching the French runners for coming at them. They don't know where they're coming from. There's forwards, there's backs, there's back rowers everywhere. There's just no set pattern for this French attack out there, and it makes defence very tough.
Twice finalists in 87 and 99. They reached the quarters in 91 and won the playoff for third and fourth in 95. The best credential side for the Northern Hemisphere, if Rugby World Cup history is any indication. Can they go the one step further? In 2003, their form so far in the tournament in the pool matches suggests they are one of the top sides. Tonight, though, they saw it as their first real test hit out in the World Cup so far, and they've started brilliantly.
Well, John Hayes penalised there for trying to take Magna out in the air. The penalty was because Magna was in the air and Hayes has had a go at him while his feet were off the ground. You must let the man with the ball come to the ground first before you attack him. Now, again, simple mistake, putting France hot on attack.
Tion won it at the front. Now Dominici in from the left wing. Terrific defence there by the Irish. In the form of the tight head Hayes, now Gaultier, but just manhandled by O'Connell. Well, full marks to the Irish. Full marks to that man's Paul O'Connell, the 24-year-old Munsterman.
Yeah, Gaultier was looking for a runner then, got nothing, had to go on his own, got swamped by big Irish defence, and a turnover for the scrum. It's their first mistake tonight in the fringes.
Isn't Gaultier putting tremendous pressure on Costello? That all starts because this French scrum is working at such a unit. They're really giving a lesson to the Irish so far. It's a hard night at the office in that front row for the Irish. Look at Gaultier, he's small, Costello big, but he's in there like a terrier.
85 kilos on 118. The difference in their frame. Now O'Gara. Chance for O'Driscoll. Oh, the pass just went astray. O'Driscoll towed it forward. But again, just breaking down Gervin, Dempsey,
Well,
John Kelly.
Yeah, John Kelly ran the wrong line then. He should have stayed wide. It was a good overlap there. O'Driscoll, beautiful break from him. But Kelly should have stayed wide. He comes in here. That was the wrong move. Rougerie was in on O'Driscoll.
That's the first time the ball's been given some air in the Irish backs. Nice, good straight running.
Gimenez straight to the line out. Again, the strength of the French pack. Gaultier, clever little kick over the top. It's probably gone too far, and so this will be marked. And the fullback in that situation is allowed to call for the mark, and he gets the free kick. He played on. In fact, it was Kelly. He realised he had come to the 22, then he was forced to kick it, and only made 5 or 6 metres.
Oh, a huge follow through by Rougerie. He can do that, and Kelly should have kept on going. The kick has got them nowhere.
Stolen. Mania plays on quickly. Rafael Ibanez got across the advantage line. This is a great opportunity now for the French. They'll move it wide through Michalak. He's got great skills. Georgian, great tackle coming in from Horgan. And it breaks down out wide. He read it beautifully from the right wing. He's a likely lad, 193 centimetres and 102 kilograms. And he came off his wing in great defence. Terrific work by Horgan.
High court, don't go early, please. Crouch and hold, no ball.
French backs lined out very deep. That's the feature of their play.
And watch for Dominici.
On the side, releasing the binding. 8 and 7.
Well, the two back rowers, Costello and Keith Gleeson, left that far too early and have been penalised. They must stay attached to the scrum finishers.
Look at Costello, only holding on by the hands. He didn't have a shoulder attached to the side of the scrum.
They've given away 2 very soft penalties, Dan, particularly when they had the numbers in the lineup. They had 8 when they should have had 7. Soft penalties, and the way this guy kicks.
Okay.
Yes, he's mentioned the leading point scorer, 80 points so far in the World Cup. Two tries, 14 goals, 13 penalty goals and a drop goal. It's been a great tally. Keith Wood can only look on as Frederick Michalak hopes to chalk double figures for the French. And he's done it. It's 10-0 to France.
You too will be impressed with the Nokia 7250i MMS phone. With a built-in camera, you can capture the excitement of Rugby World Cup 2003. To catch a great deal, see a Telstra shop or Telstra dealer today.
Well, the French have had a mountain of possession but only scored 10 points so far. They started like a train, but the Irish with their defence have been smothering them and slowing the play down.
That's Betson. Was the ball knocked forward by Palouse. Michalak onto the right foot. Torpedo punt. Taken by Kelly. In turn for the fullback, Dempsey. Now Horgan, the big strapping winger for Ireland. He's got a ton of pace. Picked up and driven forward. Advantage being played to Ireland. And the penalty forthcoming.
Beautiful back row play there by Keith Gleeson. There for the pick-up when the ball was spilt. Horgan really wanting to have a crack at this French defence.
Now O'Gara will drive it up towards the 22. And now Ireland, with probably their best chance to attack so far, a very likely land. Look at the great work there by Gleeson. Born in Dublin, but played most of his rugby in Australia before being capped a couple of years ago against Wales. One of the Australian back rowers that got away. I think the general consensus in Australia that he was too small to play for the Wallabies. And once again, he's called Ireland home. Now they drive it inside the 22. And Costello driven into touch. The big number 8, 118 kilos.
And look who was there. Galtier comes across. He's just an inspiring captain, just leg drive. And Dominique, the two small men in the French team.
Galtier. Nicolas Brusque. Well, that's a great touch finder by the French fullback.
Ireland just needs some hope. They just need a sniff of some points here to get them back in the game. They've got a huge French-Irish contingent here just willing them on. O'Connell.
Easterby won it at the back. Swarming defence by the French.
No.
Stringer. O'Connell. Ball becomes available again for Ireland. The French are up so quickly. Here's Dempsey. Double teamed by the outside backs of France. Just watch the pace of this French defence. They are attacking the Irish defensively. They are up in their faces. Maggs. One down low, one up high. Stringer again. Goes wide. O'Gara. Look at that defence. Double teaming again. There's nowhere for the Irish to go.
Well, you can throw a blanket over the Irish at the moment. They haven't got a man over halfway across the field. They've got one person in Horgan. And they just keep wanting to bash it up the centre. The French have got to give them respect.
Now they go wide. O'Driscoll with the kick in behind the defence. Horgan is flying. So too is Dominici.
Great result for the Irish. They've got the position. You're right about their bunched attack out there. Very ordinary. But eventually the genius of the kick gives them the opportunity. O'Driscoll again. How important is he to this team?
Well, it takes O'Driscoll to see the space in behind. He wrapped round and ran wide and then put a beautifully weighted kick through.
25 minutes gone first half. Can the Irish pull some points back? They'll try and drive it and down come out the Stringer. Now Horgan shows his bulk and strength. He's been very impressive so far. But that was against Easterby, not coming in behind the last man. And the penalty coming in from the side. And that's silly stuff by the Irish.
Well, again, another soft penalty, David. They had done well. They haven't been down in this part of the territory for basically the whole half. And a soft penalty puts them back on halfway around the 10-metre mark. Line-out throw to France.
Jonathan Kaplan is giving players latitude and releasing the ball. Horgan, this stage, he rolls back across again. He could have been penalised technically there, but Jonathan Kaplan, good refereeing, he's giving them some latitude.
Notice how deliberate the French are at coming to this line out. Ibanez with the throw. Up goes Palus. Now they go wide again. And that is into touch on the fall. So one of the rare mistakes in this tournament by Michalak. And they're going back to the crooked throw by the French. No advantage being forthcoming there.
Yeah, there's no doubt that we're seeing a targeting of Kelly on this wing. Rougerie, a much taller player. And Michalak really setting that ball through consistently onto this commentary side.
And Stu, you notice that Kelly doesn't hug the touchline. He leaves a very big gap from where he stands at the touchline, and Michalak has picked that up.
He stands he's inside his man. In fact, he's probably marking Tony Marsh at centre at the moment, but he's just hoping that the drift defence of the inside centre and centres of Ireland will move it across.
The line you can see is the 10-metre line. It's in French territory. They lead by 10-0. Opening try by Manya. The rest of the points coming from a conversion and a drop goal. That's great defence by Costello.
It's overcooked too.
And that's the correct decision. Nick, he was outside his 22, only just. And the ball, you cannot kick it out on the full if you're outside that 22-metre line.
And as Brusker's kicked that, he's realised he's put a little bit too much oomph on it. His body language was trying to will it back in, curve it back in, but he knew he was out by a metre, and Ireland on the attack.
O'Gara, Maggs. Oh, great play by Maggs, straight through the first line. O'Gara. Easterby, over the advantage line and beyond. Stringer nips away on the short side. Keith Wood goes past the advantage line as well. Now a chance for Ireland to spin it to the right. O'Gara, undisciplined pass. Clever play, Ibanez. Betson, Dominici, he will have too much pace. Second try to the French. Fourth try in the World Cup for Dominici. Well, a mistake by Ireland, punished by the French. It's 15-0.
Well, there he is, that man Dominici, the try scorer. There isn't much of him, but what it is, it looks like he runs scared. The Irish hot on attack, but it was that man Magna who picks up the crumbs inside to Ibanez. Again, the back row of Betson, and then Dominici. They were looking for the fast man, and it was just a straight sprint to the line, and Horgan just didn't have the gas to keep up with him. Try time.
It's all about reducing your errors. Ireland created a huge error out wide. The loose forwards getting involved. This guy's got a huge amount of gas, and they will punish you if you cough up errors like that. That's too easy.
And Munier, reminiscent of the semi-final in '99 against New Zealand, Stu. That just breakout, he's got so much speed, so much vision. Super player.
But we spoke earlier about how the Irish are bunching up in their attack, and if they cough the ball up, this French side will punish you with quick turnover and down the other end of the park stuff.
Frederick Michalak, 21-year-old from Toulouse, has a magic right boot, and it's 17-0. The French celebrate in Melbourne.
Want insurance discounts for over 55s even if you work full-time? Find out how much you could save on insurance for your home. Call GIO now on 13 10 10. GIO, the way insurance should be.
So 2 tries to the French in the opening 30 minutes.
Well, that ball went forward off French hands first, so it will be an Irish feed. And coming into the last 10 minutes of this first half, desperate for points. O'Driscoll, can he work some magic?
Scrum feed by Ireland. Look at the pressure Galthier putting on Stringer. Now O'Gara. O'Driscoll. Beautiful play, O'Gara. And Betson, what great defence. This blindside flanker. Now they go again. O'Driscoll just wants to get his hands on the football for Ireland. He knows that he can penetrate out wide. And again, at the breakdown, the Irish are penalised.
Great tackle there by Tony Marsh on O'Driscoll. That's 1 for 1.
What a great story this is, Stu.
Outstanding.
Had testicular cancer. He went through chemo and radiation back in the early part of the year. And he's back playing in a Rugby World Cup and hoping to play in the final in 2 weeks' time. Betson has been outstanding, the head-geared back rower for France.
But more importantly for Marsh was the confidence that Laporte put in him, the coach, the French coach, saying, you are good, I know you will get back from this and you will play in the World Cup, and so he has.
Great inspiration. Tony Marsh, the New Zealand-born centre from France. Now Galtier takes another snipe at this Irish defence. Beautiful play back on the inside. A chance again. Harry Ndouké, third French try. Are they bound for the semi-finals? The fans in the stadium say, I think we're on our way. Allez les Bleus, 22-0 to France.
Harry Ndouké, 23 years of age, just sniped by Galtier. He goes to the ground, there's no one in there. It's popped up by the big man Cranker, who then goes to ground again, looks for support. Harry Ndouké is there, 23 years of age, a fantastic athlete, one of the greats of the future for France, if not already. And he outsprints them all to the line to go over untouched. Look at him, raises the finger to the crowd. I'm there.
And Michalak to make it 24-0. He'll play a great role in the future games of this World Cup. 24-0 to France.
That was nasty. Oh, and way too high. He's just crunched him, hasn't he?
He's going to get his marching orders there for sure. No, it's worse than a sin bin.
That's way too extreme.
There it is.
This coverage is brought to you by the Extreme Nissan X-Trail.
Well, Stu, a lot of people came here thinking that a surprise might have been on tonight, that this French side hadn't really been tested, but gee, they've served notice here tonight that they are very serious contenders for the William Webberless Trophy.
Well, I haven't been surprised with this French outfit. They've been very smooth. They've been so composed in this tournament. They haven't panicked. They're very well disciplined. And they're playing the game, the same game that I saw them when they opened up their game against Fiji in the first round of their pool play. They're clinical, they're ruthless. Their big men can run. They've got great touches. They can finish, and every opportunity they've got to score, unlike what we saw in the All Blacks last night, tonight, they've made points on the board count.
And the longer they go in this tournament, it's a great reward for Fabien Galtier, their captain. He didn't start as the #1 scrum half at 2 or 3 of the World Cup campaigns that he's played in. But after being named the IRB Player of the Year last year, he comes as their #1 halfback and captain. And he's done a sterling job. He was put under pressure last week, and through all that, he stayed so composed. He's a great leader, and he's done a terrific job out there tonight for France.
Well, so much pressure being applied in the breakdown by the French. The Irish are giving away penalties there very freely. They've got to stay on their feet.
Up goes Mania. Good service by Galtier. And a good break by Josian. They move right again. Even the tight five are just so involved. Tight head props, loose head props. Now the back row of Betson coughs it up.
Great defence, Keith Wood. Easterby. Gang tackle. Hit Betson. Up she goes.
Don't shift. Don't shift. Watch and hold. Please don't shift. Engage.
Now Costello takes on the small frame of Michalak, and like good fly halves impeded him and then got away from the breakdown. And the kick by O'Driscoll takes play to 10 metres short of halfway.
You can see O'Driscoll, he didn't want to kick that ball, but he knows just the pressure is there. He's booted it downfield and shaking his head because he just feels the pressure of this French defence. They're all over him.
What a great fill-up this will be for French rugby if the side can make it all the way to the final, because they are destined to host the 2007 Rugby World Cup. Galtier, even on the back foot, gives it to Michalak. And again, Kelly in very, very much in field, which has freed Rougerie up on the right-hand side again. Now they've got a chance to go left and go wide. Brusque got the ball away. Dominici was picked off at a great tackle by Easterby. Now Michalak. Ball beats him into touch. The flair of the French. Ireland up offside. Advantage wasn't forthcoming. Penalty France. Chance for more points before half-time.
Well, I hope that Jonathan Kaplan keeps having a look at the French back line too, because both defensive screens out wide are using the banana defence. The outside backs are coming up very quick. Now he pinged Ireland on that occasion. I just hope he's a bit even. We just noticed out wide, see how the backs, well, in actual fact, was in the midfield. He said it was out wide. Well, I don't think that man was offside.
Rougerie, he's down injured here. O'Driscoll hit him high, getting some attention to his nose and also to his neck.
The man they call the Blonde Lomu. Not quite as devastating as the man we saw in 95 and 99, Stu.
He's got a few tracks to cut before he gets to that stage.
Now Michalak. He's been really on song with that boot tonight. 100% record that he keeps intact. 27-0 to France.
Imagine if you could spend a day on your very own deserted beach. How about experiencing the mysterious atmosphere of North Vietnam? And get ready for the adrenaline rush of your life. Whitewater rafting in the most amazing place. The great outdoors. Monday.
And this is where Ireland have to put their hand up. They have to stand and deliver now. Less than 2 minutes from half-time. They need to put points on before this break.
Stringer, O'Gara, Dempsey. Ten minutes inside French territory. Costello.
And again, the French, because they're aggressive at the breakdown, are making this ball for the Irish pedestrian.
Yeah, they're so aggressive in the defensive technique. They are racing up and getting in the face of the Irish.
Crinker on that occasion, in on the ball, didn't release.
Yes.
Ireland got no choice but to go for touch. They've got to go for 7 points.
Well, France beat Ireland 44-5 back in 2002, and that obviously is sticking in the craw of Ireland. They don't want a repeat of that particular performance here in a Rugby World Cup quarter-final.
Just before that, Fabien Galtier, the captain, gave the Crinker a big word saying discipline, keep it. That's the first penalty.
Costello was picked off at the breakdown before getting across the advantage line. That's Hayes. Stringer, O'Gara, forward pass. That was an absolute forward pass from O'Driscoll. Undetected by referee or touch judge. Ireland play on with ball in hand. Stringer barking at the heels of the Irish pack. Horgan has come in from right wing looking for work. But this French defence is like a brick wall. Mags. And back for O'Connell.
They won't get through there if they've got to run onto the ball. They're turning too flat.
Now Gleeson, Horgan. Benson came in cover. Just like you'd expect from a world-class back rower. Ball kept in play, but finally the body of Costello still attached to the ball. Goes over the touchline, the last play of the first 40 minutes. It's been all France. 3 tries to 0. Backed up by a 100% record by Michalak with the boot. They lead the quarter-final by 27 points to 0 here at the Telstra Dome in Melbourne.
The latest from 7 News, brought to you by Arnott's. There is no substitute for quality.
Good evening. No Australians are thought to be among the victims of today's terrorist attack in Saudi Arabia. Truck bombs ripped through a housing complex in the capital, Riyadh. At least 30 people were killed. Al-Qaeda is being blamed. Detectives are waiting for post-mortem results to confirm how 5-year-old Chloe Hosen was killed. Police spent the day door-knocking Lansvale homes for information. The state's first cannabis clinic will open in Parramatta by year's end. The $2.5 million unit will help heavy users kick the habit. 14 asylum seekers who tried to land in northern Australia are now back in Indonesia. The federal government's defending its decision to tow them out of Australian waters. And some welcome good news for Britain's royal family. A daughter born to Prince Edward and his wife Sophie. Sydney's weather tomorrow, warm with a chance of a shower, 25 in the city, 29 degrees in the west.
No me digas cuando
The Samsung E700 with self-portrait and multi-shot. Take your best shot.
We're out of ice.
Ricard, welcome to the Latin Quarter.
Guess what's in a biscuit?
At Officeworks, you could win a brand new car. Simply buy any Kodak inkjet paper product for your chance to drive home a Renault Clio. Only at Officeworks. The works.
Powerade's unique balance of electrolytes and carbohydrates gives the Wallabies that little bit extra.
If you think he looks scared now, wait till the court delivers the sentence. Will you blow it tonight?
Try time. Back on the inside. A chance again. Hollywood Luque learns red try. Are they bound for the semi-final?
Michalak, Mortlock, that's as good as what you did last night. The big swan dive. Can you believe the score at half-time? 27-0. The Irish have been turned inside out by the French, who have been absolutely awesome. There's no other word for them. I'm joined tonight by Peter Fitzsimons, Liz Ellis and James Holbert. Welcome to each and every one of you. What a first half of football. James, the first try, I guess appropriately it came from an established superstar of the team and an emerging star at this World Cup.
Yeah, certainly Munya's been around for a long time and he was one of the stars of the 99 World Cup, and we see a beautiful vision here from Michalak. Just fires it across to John Kelly's wing. He's a shorter winger than Rougerie, and they're going to really take advantage of the height advantage they've got out there.
Well, the 27 that France have posted is largely due to Michalak, but the big donut that Ireland have got on their side of the ledger, it's really due to France's ability to get up and get really aggressive defensively. France have really come off their line and almost run at the Irish attack, and it's not only the big hits that are hurting Ireland, it's also their inability to find any space in behind the breakdown, because the French team have really run up and really run hard, and it took some fairly impressive work from O'Driscoll to get the Irish really into a good attacking situation.
I think the the English will be preparing against Wales at the moment. They won't be watching any of this, but they will not enjoy the vision when they start to see it, because France just looks fantastic. And the way, and look just how quickly they swoop on this. There's Mania and Fabien, even, this is your ones. This is, there's Christophe Dominici, just unbelievable. He was the star of the last World Cup, and he's unstoppable in this.
Oh, they have been so, so good. What do you think out there? Who's the man of the match to half-time? Well, it's not a Frenchman, surprisingly, at this stage. It's Brian O'Driscoll, who needs to play probably the biggest half of his career to have a chance for Ireland in the second half. You can keep voting in the second half for that man of the match, but at half-time, the French are on their way to a semi-final unless something happens out of the ordinary. It's 27-0.
This is the one episode of Alias you've got to see.
Base camp, waiting on your signal.
Hold on tight. Finally, you're about to discover the shocking truth.
I've opened the box.
Alias 7, Monday.
Once you've eaten a Red Rock Daily, a little flavor is never enough. Red wine and Tuscan herb chips from Red Rock Daily.
Airport.
Oh, Jamie, why don't you tell us what's new in IT? Try to keep it short.
Oh, well, we just implemented DFS and a new SAN. And also we enabled shadow copy for shared folders on our file servers. It enables users to get back lost documents on their own without calling IT. And it'll save us hundreds of thousands of dollars, which...
It'll do what?
With new Windows Server 2003, you can do more with less.
Automated system recovery.
It happens in the blink of an eye. Now's the time to invest with as little as $1,000. AXA, be life confident.
Symmetry creates balance and control. The 2004 Subaru Outback.
Seven's telecast of the Rugby World Cup is proudly made possible by our telecast sponsors. Heineken, it's all about the beer. The new Qantas International Business Class. Harvey Norman, your digital camera specialist. GIO, the way insurance should be. The new Nissan Z Roadster. Samsung Digital, everyone's invited. And Telstra Worldwide Partner, Rugby World Cup 2003.
Very impressive performance by the French in that first 40 minutes. A 27-point advantage at half-time. And they have continued their wonderful form of the pool matches where they achieved maximum points in their opening 4 matches. They have looked on fire in this quarter-final here in Melbourne.
They've looked very fresh, and so they should be, because the majority of the French side have had a couple of weeks off. Most of them didn't play their last pool game, so 2 weeks rest. And they will just continue what they've done in the first half. You know, their tight 5 have set a huge platform for their loosies to roam around and support the backs. And they've punished the Irish side for every mistake they've coughed up. They have absolutely slaughtered them.
Well, for the Irish at half-time, Eddie O'Sullivan might be looking for Wood and O'Driscoll, but he'll be needing divine intervention.
Restarts by the French. O'Kelly claims it. That's the 22-metre line at the Irish end, you can see. 3 tries to 0 by the French. Totally dominant display. Oh, and that's the start that Ireland didn't want. The referee playing advantage, but the French will have the scrum feed.
Well, no change for either side at this second half, and that man, Ronan O'Gara, was probably the most likely. Very heavy knock in the first half from Serge Betson, and just juggles that one, has a look.
So his side immediately under pressure. Will we see, well, the bind not correct on the loose head side by Corrigan.
Yeah, he didn't. Carry on.
And Fabien Galtier says to Michalak, come up and look for the 3 points.
You too will be impressed with the Nokia 7250i MMS phone. With a built-in camera, you can capture the excitement of Rugby World Cup 2003. To catch a great deal, see a Telstra shop or Telstra dealer today.
21-year-old on the big stage. It's a Rugby World Cup time for Frédéric Michalak. 16 metres in from touch. Smooth as you like. And so first points in the second half go to the French. 30 points to 0.
Well, international rugby is all about eliminating and reducing errors. So easily a coughed up drop pass, 3 points down. Systematically and clinically, France just roll on.
O'Gara with the restart.
And again, the French go out and look to just drive it downfield.
Back for Dempsey, linking with Kelly. It's been charged down by the French. O'Driscoll, beautiful pass, but it's been hushed and run into touch by the French. Knocked forward by Ireland, so the French will get the ball into the line-out.
Well, the Irish do need some luck. A little bit of luck came through then. Brian O'Driscoll, the pass, a flick back inside to Horgan, didn't actually quite find the man. So the French again back to attack.
And again, Corrigan is picked up on the loose head side, and straight away Fabien Galtier went forward. Michalak arrived, and now Manya. Knocked forward by the French. Now Stringer looking for the support, puts it to the boot. Back goes Nicholas Brusque. This French fullback was picked for the '99 Rugby World Cup, but didn't play, didn't actually get there. He withdrew through injury, but he's been in splendid form in 2003. Oh, that's a poor kick by the Irish. Turnover ball again. And a chance for the French to break out.
And how good is Martinet going? The tight head prop recovers the ball and flicks.
Now Horgan got the intercept there.
Yeah, there was no deliberate knockdown there. Horgan had his sight set on the try line down this end of the field.
Yes, the ruling there, if the referee had deemed that that was a deliberate knockdown, that would have been a penalty to the French. But you can see from the reaction from Horgan, he was looking for the genuine intercept. What a likely lad on the right wing. He's had limited opportunities. Late in that first half, he went looking for them. So Stringer hands the ball over for Fabien Galtier. Harinadorki through the legs. Georgian out wide. Nicholas Brusque spilt cold by Rougerie. Irish ball. 22-metre line. On defence. Costello. And O'Gara's trusty right boot drives play deep. With no advantage, the referee will come back to pack the scrum. The knock forward by France. Ireland with the put into the scrum just outside their own quarter line.
Well, virtually no handling mistakes in the first half from the French. The second half, Magna and Rougerie both had dropped the ball.
Good scrum by the French, trying to disrupt the Irish ball. Keith Gleeson took it forward. In fact, it was Kelly. And O'Gara just forced to put it on the left foot. Aurélien Rougerie links up with Nicholas Brusque, who in turn tries to find Dominici. Manhandled in defence, the little winger from France. Ibanez, Olivier Magna, Fabien Galthié. Irish defence tested again. Jean-Jacques Crinca. Look at the skills of the loose head prop. 103 kilograms of him. Stepping run, Michalak. Jalzian. Out for Ibanez. Dominici, Fabien Galthié. Desperate defence by the Irish. The French have started the second half like they started the first. They'll go wide again. Michalak, wonderful hands. Benson arrives at the breakdown, distinctive with that headgear. Ibanez, the veteran, the former captain, drives it forward. Now they've got numbers to the right. Michalak, Magna. Beautiful play by Olivier Magna. And finally, the oldest man in the French squad scores his second try at this Rugby World Cup. Jean-Jacques Crinca. The French celebrate the fourth try by France.
What a build-up by the French. Just repeated pressure. They kept hammering away, and Crinca, after sustained pressure, Michalak could see wide that they had the opportunity. Magna does the speculator across to Harinadorki, who just flicks it inside to Crinca, sitting there catching a bit of wind, and he just scores it as if he scores one every day of the week. Nonchalantly puts it on the ground for the try.
Well, yet again, it's jerseys number 7 and 8 that are in blue are involved in this. And the final touches to the big man in the front row.
You're right, Stu. Harinadorki, Magna and Betson, they are featuring so much out wide.
Michalak, he's been superb tonight, as he has been right through this tournament. Takes his World Cup tally to 95, and the French to 37-0.
There's a lot of grunt in this scrum.
Engaged.
Oh, that's a very nice clean feed, putting the weight in.
This coverage is brought to you by the 185 kilowatt Nissan Patrol, the most powerful patrol ever.
Or change for the Irish. Humphreys on, O'Gara's off.
Restart. Brusque flew high, took it brilliantly. Now a chance for France again. There's Marsh, driven over the touchline by some spirited Irish defence.
Yeah, Kevin Maggs through on Marsh. But again, it's the athletic ability of the French getting up high above the Irish. They're getting the ball back so many times from the kick-throughs.
Irish throw to the line out. They go to the back. And Kelly tried to get the pass out the back. But the throw was not straight, and the French elect to take the scrum. Replacement player on. David Humphreys, the fly half tonight, playing in his 60th international. the most capped Irish fly half of all time, on for O'Gara.
Look at that platform by the French at that scrum.
Big kick downfield. Back goes Horgan. If he forces it inside that in-goal area, play will restart with the 22-metre dropout. Michalak, what a World Cup he's had.
You might say a wasted kick from the French, but they're just continuing to apply the pressure to the Irish. The Irish now a drop out from the 25, and the French will bring it back yet again.
Humphreys hoists it high, bets it off his head, and Ireland get it back. Now David Humphreys. It's kicked down to Nicholas Brusque. He's been so safe in that custodian role for the French. Dempsey, his opposite number, took it well. The ball has been coughed up, taken by Kelly. Humphreys, Maggs. Now will Ireland come right? Humphreys again. This time goes short with the kick. Beautifully regathered by Humphreys. O'Driscoll's lost it forward. Now, Serge Betson's going to be a tackle not using the arms. You must use the arms in a tackle. If we see the replay, the referee has got the number 6 for France for tackling and using the shoulder charge.
Great little chip through there by Humphreys. Bit of variation, just trying to break this French defence, which has just been brutal.
Just watch this. No, it was before the referee was playing advantage. But clever play by David Humphreys. Variation by the Irish.
Well, that's what they need. You know, that's the first little chip kick in behind the French defensive lines that they've done all year, all game. They need just to vary their kicking game around a bit, put more height in the ball so they can go and claim it in the air. The long wipers kick downtown have basically done nothing for them all night.
Marcus Horan has come on for Corrigan, and Liebenberg has come on for Georgia. And here's a great break, Kevin Maggs going for the try line. Try to Ireland. Finally, the Irish have something to cheer about. And Kevin Maggs has come up with a try. He has been to 2 World Cups. It's his 14th try at Test Rugby, but his first ever at Rugby World Cup.
The French line has been very, very good on the defence tonight. Was a wraparound from Keith Woods from the front of the lineout, and he found a hole. A couple of French loose fours of big reputations. He made a mockery of them, shrugged the big winger off and said, too late.
But what the important parts of Maggs did was he ran hard, he ran fast, and he ran straight. Great angles.
Humphreys hoisted high. 37-7. France over Ireland. The French go wide. Try. He wants to have another look. This could win the test match.
No try.
GIO, official partner, Rugby World Cup 2003.
Restart by the French. Well, it took the French 52 minutes to the line to be crossed. It was a splendid try by the number 12 from Ireland. He's been one of the real mainstays of this Irish side. And David Humphreys, quite amazing. France had just made the midfield change with Georgian off and Liebenberg on. But it was closer to the action of the breakdown where the break was made, not out wide. Galtier out for Mania. He's had a terrific game. So too has Palouse and Haranadorki, a brilliant back row for this French side. Now Galtier searching down that left-hand touchline, but he didn't touch on the ball.
Well, Meunier, the ball control end. He had 4 Irish defenders on him. He turned, he got the ball back. Galtier upset with himself, not with his team.
Well, is this the spark? Is Mags giving them the spark to make the Irish bring out a massive? It would be a massive comeback, but can they do it?
Humphries pumps it away towards halfway. What a great career this young fellow's had. Although I say young, he's 32. The most capped Irish fly half of all time. Surrendered his spot to O'Gara. He's only 3 points short of the all-time World Cup point-scoring record set by Ralph Keyes. France.
Not straight, referee Kaplan judges. So Ireland now just into the French half. Can David Humphries work some more magic?
They've got their most experienced scrum combination of Stringer and Humphries in the history of the game in Ireland. O'Driscoll cut out pass, Dempsey's in the line, Kelly. Good defence by Aurélien Rougerie on the far side for France. And Liebenberg was in there doing good work as well. Good, heavy, strong rucking in there by the Irish.
Now that's a great ruling from the referee. Now people out there who don't know the game may think the boots on the player is a bit brutal, but he wouldn't get out of the way. It is legal if he's lying on the ball, and the Irish gave it to him.
Theon was lying near the ball. He's fair game, a little bit of soft shoe shuffle shown on top of him to get him out of the way. There it is. Nothing wrong with the feet on the body to try and ruck the man out as long as the foot is going backwards.
And more fool him not getting out of there quicker, Dan. If you stay there, you will feel the brunt of the Irish feet.
And here come the Irish. Straight through the line out.
So close, the Irish. Will the ball come out? Costello. Ball copped up by Hanadadorki. It's still an Irish ball. Humphries through the dummy. O'Driscoll. Ball copped up. And Liebenberg kicks it away.
Referee's got him offside there. Back to the try line. Another chance for Ireland.
Will they take the scrum? Surely.
Well, Centurions come on. The scrum is stabilised. The last one they had was rock solid. They've got to go for it. It's all or nothing tonight for the Irish. There's nothing to be left in the tank. There is no tomorrow.
This is sudden death rugby. Wood, they drive it forward. Stringer through the hands of Humphries, and he's coughed it up. The pressure was mounting. That's Hanadadorki, the number 8 for France. A rare mistake by the Irish fly half. He'll be so angry with himself because they had a wonderful opportunity. Now Horgan, he will not go home wondering tonight. He's been looking for work all night. Dempsey smashed in great defence by the French. Midway between the half, 22. Horgan again. Terrific aggressive defence once again by France. Stringer. Pass has gone behind Humphries. Now Kelly. And they've lost 10 or 12 metres. Now he must release.
And again, look where the body of the French are.
And the penalty's gone the other way.
Illegal use of the boots.
Well, the Irish, against this French defence, you cannot show any weakness. You just have to run very, very hard at them. You show a chick of nerves or fear, they'll slash you in two.
Whereas before we saw the penalty was, we saw that the rucking was with the foot going in the backward motion. This time with O'Connell, it was straight up and down, penalty against him.
It's 37-7 and a chance for France to go further ahead.
20 nations, 48 games, 1 beer. Heineken.
Kaplan.
I've been last on 2 occasions. Listen, I'll let you have a say. That man could not move away. It's gratuitous use of the boot. Now he is.
They're putting their legs in the ball as if they're rolling away. They're just slowing it down, tipping the ball.
That's still up to me. That's not up to me.
So, spirited discussion with the Irish captain, Jonathan Kaplan. That's the offender there, the number 5. Dan, your thoughts?
Well, he's saying that Galtier's got his legs over the ball, which he has quite rightly there, but it still says you're not allowed any downward motion with the ruck.
Now Michalak. He has been superb tonight. .20 haul, 40-7 to France.
Keith Wood's getting frustrated, talking to the referee, Jonathan Kaplan, saying, we've got to get them away from the ball so we can get quick phase balls, sir. We need to feed our backs quickly. Slow ball means it allows the French to get up in their face.
Aerial skills by the French from the restart. So we're into the final quarter of the third quarter final. The last game at Rugby World Cup 2003 to be played here at the Telstra Dome in Melbourne. The heartland of Australian rules football, but the Melbourne fans have supported this tournament magnificently. They had a great game here 2 weeks ago when England played Samoa. They had another cracker when Ireland played Australia, and they have thoroughly enjoyed watching the skills of the French tonight.
And Keith Wood, he knows that time's ticking away. It could be the last time he plays on the international circuit.
Humphreys steps, and again 3 French defenders there to wrap up the Irish fly half. Keith Wood, he possesses all the skills. He can score tries. He can kick the ball. He can lead by example. What a great ornament of the game he's been.
Super kick. Sorry, Fordo. Just watch that past Ibanez. And you're right. Not only a fantastic player, inspiring captain, but he's such a great guy.
You can't possibly tell me he meant that. To get it inches inside. He's a hooker, for goodness sake. They don't have those skills.
Dan, some front rowers didn't have them, some did. Keith Wood's got them.
Well, he stole mine, and I want them back.
Dan Crowley thought he had them. You always said, though, that you're a back trapped in a forward's body, Dan, didn't you?
God was cruel.
Keith Wood carries on a tremendous family tradition. His father, Gordon, was also a Irish representative and Alliance tourist. And we wonder, are we seeing the last of this great Irish hooker tonight? Now the kick downfield by Liebenberg. Safe hands of Dempsey. Wonderful pass across field. That freed up Kelly. Knocked on by Brusque. O'Driscoll. Beat one. Lost it forward. Well, the referee said no knock on. Stringer. Horgan. His advantage still being played. Stringer again. Beautiful inside pass. Ireland have not given up. Horgan looking for play in centre field. Humphreys stolen by the French, but the referee was playing advantage for France being offside. And a chance for another penalty to Ireland. They will play on quickly through Stringer. Keith Wood crashes that body at the French defence. Now Humphreys, wide pass. O'Driscoll ghosts around that French defence. He's probing out wide, Brian O'Driscoll. And another penalty. Will we see a yellow card? Continual infringements by the French.
Tony Mars, super tackle on O'Driscoll. Cut him off from a try. Here's O'Driscoll getting across, Marsh down. Ibanez is the one who's been penalised. Hands in there, the ball was already into a ruck situation.
Let's listen to Jonathan Kaplan. No yellow card. that chastise the 30-year-old Rafael Jimenez, the former French captain, who lost his captaincy to Toulouse. Toulouse, in turn, handed over the captaincy to Fabien Galtier, who is in his 4th World Cup here tonight. He's playing like a 21-year-old. He's led the French side superbly in this quarter-final. Now Ireland. Drive towards the French line. Stringer at the back there in 9. They wheel it left. The French are under pressure. Look at Galtier in there trying to stop Gleeson. Costello, clean out by the Irish. That should be a yellow card, Jimenez. He's already just got a caution. A deliberate bit of foul play there. He will go.
He shouldn't even worry about talking to the referee. He should just walk.
Yep,
Put his bat under his arm and walk.
He's gone. Wrong guy.
Stewie. I'm about to make a decision. The histrionics are not helping the situation, so just calm down, right?
Tion off for the French, gone to the blood bin. Olivier Brouzet, the big man, on for the French.
Now, Jimenez is the man. No right to play in that ball at all. Look at that. That is just unforgivable. He must go. Au revoir. Rafael Jimenez. He's off to the 74th minute of this game.
So the French, if the scrum has been packed, will now need to bring a hooker on. Because Jimenez off.
So on comes Olivier Brouzet, and we'll also have the French hooker that must come on straight away. And that means that one of their players will have to leave as well.
Olivier Miu will come on for the French, and Meunier comes off.
So Yannick Brou from Toulouse made his debut against the Australians in 2001 in Marseille. Takes his place in the middle of the French scrum. That is now minus Jimenez and Olivier Meunier. Now what can Ireland do? Costello goes straight to the light man in Michalak. Stringer, Humphreys, the little kick in behind. No, did he get it down?
That's try.
I think he's got it down. Try of Ireland, Brian O'Driscoll. Clever play by Humphreys. Good lead-up work by Costello. Ireland back scoring their 2nd try.
Well, with the French packed down to 7 men, it was a good scrum by Ireland, giving the go ball for what they wanted. A nudge in behind it. Oh, yeah, that's classy.
Well, Humphreys saw the little gap, put it in behind. The only way you could breach the defence. And O'Driscoll just took his time. It looked like it was in slow motion. But one-handed just plucked it out of the air and whacks it down before the line. That is skill.
And it was the 2nd little nudge in behind the defensive line of France.
Humphreys adds the extras. 40 points to 12. The French hold the dominance.
I've been called blind, offered guide dogs, and told to visit my optometrist 1,000 times. So Qantas, thanks for thinking of me.
Brian O'Driscoll. And Stu, you'd relate to this being an outside back. That's 100 test points purely in tries by Brian O'Driscoll. His 20th try in test rugby.
Well, he's world class, and he showed it then. But it was that wonderful little, just that chip kick in behind the defensive lines of France. Not too big, just weighted nicely. That have caused a few problems for the boys in blue.
O'Driscoll, 20 tries and 4 drop goals for 112 test points. But he really is a class act.
It's a real pity a bigger crowd hasn't seen this wonderful game. Price is very high coming to the quarterfinals, and in a non-rugby city like Melbourne, you're just relying primarily on the Irish, travelling Irish, local Irish and the French.
The French have had a great record in the World Cup quarterfinals. They've played 4. They've won 3. Their only loss was to England in 91. But for the Irish, they have never progressed further than the quarterfinal stage. Twice beaten by Australia in 87 and 91. And that 91 clash is memorable. And again beaten by the French in 1995. But they have not given up here tonight. They trailed 27-0 at half-time. They have outscored France 14-13 in the second half.
And we've still got plenty left to see yet. The wind is in the sails of the Irish. They want to rack up more points.
Yannick Rubin the throw. That's Hayes, the tight head prop. And again, the lightweight fly half, Michalak, forced to defend.
Well, good work, Betson over the top in the tackle. He caused the turnover.
And taken forward by Olivier Brousset. But knocked on by the Irish at the breakdown. That's Marcus Horan.
Well, I don't really think the French have actually taken the foot off the pedal. I just believe that I thought Ireland looked very tired in that first half, but they've risen the game. The bar's come up a bit, and they've frustrated the boys in blue.
Haradadonki and Galtier working on the blind side with Brusque and Rougerie, but they have turned the ball over. Line out ball, Ireland. Look at Galtier. He just won't stop. He's leading the side to victory in the most emphatic way tonight.
You see big number 19, Eric Miller, has replaced Costello. That's a good move by Eddie O'Sullivan.
So Miller, distinguished or just easily defined by a shock of blonde hair. You'll see at the back of the Irish line-out. But a free kick, a short-arm free kick to the Irish, which means they can't look for 3 points, but they can look for 7. Inside the 22, they lie deep in attack to the left. Now they peel off to the right, trying to commit Ireland to the breakdown. Galtier, Michalak, one of the rare mistakes, towed through by Humphreys. That's a knock-on to Ireland, to France. The referee playing advantage, but none forthcoming. So back they'll come 15 or 20 metres for the scrum with the Ireland feed.
Oh, it's getting contagious out there. Errors after errors. They're losing a little bit of their composure. They've lost complete discipline when they were 33 points ahead and lost their hooker team. It's in the bin. There's the first mistake Michalak's made tonight.
Remembering the French are playing one man down in their pack.
And still putting pressure on that Irish scrum.
Humphreys on the right foot. Takes play to the halfway and beyond.
Well, if the Irish crowd was the contest tonight, they've won it hands down. Huge noise, huge support here. Believers in their side. The French have just been too powerful.
The Vanessa has still got 5 minutes left in the bin. This is where the Irish have to capitalise and score points and score them quick.
So Olivier Millau has come on as a replacement in the French side for the try scorer Jean-Jacques Crenca at loose head. Millau playing in his 14th international tonight. Relatively light but very technically strong on the loose head side for France. Look at them drive it forward. And like the good blue heeler dog there, Fabien Galtier. He's not adding weight, he's just adding inspiration. Now he wants the ball. And they've got the penalty instead. The big lock caught the play down. He collapsed the ball, Paul O'Connell.
As the ball's being pushed forward, the opposition players cannot pull it to the ground. They have to stop it in its momentum. They cannot pull them to the ground or it is a penalty.
And it was tremendous control by Aaron North, the key at the back there. Galtier providing the vision, but the drive was perfect.
Just watch it. Ball tucked under the arm, you can see there. He must stay bound. And look at Galtier just giving that great direction in this French side. It's 40 points to 14.
You too will be impressed with the Nokia 7250i MMS phone. With a built-in camera, you can capture the excitement of Rugby World Cup 2003. To catch a great deal, see a Telstra shop or Telstra dealer today.
Frederick Michalak. A chance to be the first player in 2003 to score 100 points at the Rugby World Cup. And he's done it brilliantly. He will play such a vital role. What a showdown of the kickers next week should England get over Ireland later tonight. And Johnny Wilkinson up against Frederick Michalak.
Well, he's outstanding for a 20-year-old player who's occasionally or sometimes plays for his club. I think it's Toulouse. He plays at scrum half. That number 10 jersey tonight, he has not missed a shot at goal. Outstanding performer.
23-point haul tonight for Michalak. Hoisted high again. We're into the final 10. In fact, 8 minutes to go. The ball loose on the ground. Galtier wrapped up. Tried to get back to his feet. Secured ball by the French again. No half-back, so Aurélien Rougerie comes in. And Nicolas Brusque on the right boot. Back goes David Humphries. Caught in midfield by Dominici.
But that's what the Irish have got to do now. There's no use kicking it. Throw it, protect your man, back him up. And what does Organ do? Kicks it. He's got to hold it. The man's built like a mountain. He can run like the wind. He's got to use those skills.
Now
here's one man who doesn't know any other way than going straight ahead.
And that's great defence by Michalak again. That's one thing that's impressed me about him, Stu. They have tested Michalak in defence tonight. He's only lightweight. He's only 77 kilos. But his technique is very good.
He hasn't flinched all night. You know, big heart, superb player. Great future.
Look at O'Driscoll, basketball skills as well, but it's been knocked forward. Here goes Liebenberg. That pass from Aurélien Rougerie was picked up beautifully by Dominici, but the referee has ruled that it went forward.
We can see the tanks are running low on the Irish end. Terrific break by Brian O'Driscoll, looking for his men to come and support. There was a perfect opportunity to bust through the French defence, but just running out of fuel.
Here at the Telstra Dome in Melbourne, France lead the quarter-final 43 to...
2 crimes will be committed.
Oh my God!
2 of All Saints staff will stand accused.
Don't worry, we'll get him.
And someone is going to pay.
You are facing dismissal. You're out.
All Saints, Tuesday.
$33,000 fans here in Melbourne tonight. The last chance for the Melbourne fans to witness action in the Rugby World Cup 2003. They've seen a very powerful performance tonight. A performance by the French side that has served notice to the other side still left in this World Cup tournament, that they are here on a mission.
On this occasion, the French have knocked the ball forward bits, and so the scrum comes back and it'll be an Irish feed. They have another chance to try and get some points, get some respectability.
I can't hear you. Well, Sin been over with Bruce staying on and Mania coming back onto the side of the scrum, so the French back to 15 players.
And there will be a replacement because Patrick Tobacco from Stade Francais is about to come on for his 15th international. And what a performance by the number 8, the man he replaced, Imanol Adenadourki. He scored a terrific try in the first half. He was everywhere there tonight, leading this French
look at
pack.
that scrum by the French. They have just slaughtered the Irish.
That's a big one.
Ibanez had plenty of time to think about it in the sin bin. He's come on for vengeance.
That is an emphatic statement by the French pack.
And does that not hurt not only the body but the pride of the Irish, especially a front row getting folded back over their second row? They are completely helpless when that happens and at the mercy of the opposition.
Galtier's been wonderful tonight at the back of this French scrum that has dominated proceedings. 34 years of age, 63rd cap for his country. He was desperate tonight, Dan, to make sure that this wasn't going to be his last test for France.
Well, we've talked about how quietly, efficiently and effectively and clinically the French have gone about it. They've been the silent assassins so far of this tournament. And whether or not it's Wales or England, they have put up the flag and said, beware, we're coming.
Stu, for the fifth time in the tournament, they've scored 4 tries or more in each of the matches of the pool matches. So their strike power is enormous.
It is, but they'll take out of this game an area of discipline. When Ireland have put a bit of pressure on them in this last quarter, they've made mistakes, they've folded, but still their scrum goes ahead. Still they just keep... This is the first time I've seen them in 5 games actually lose a little bit of composure.
And Simon, you back up the try-scoring potency with a brilliant goal kicker like the 21-year-old from Toulouse, Frederick Michalak. You've got the complete outfit.
Well, it's a warning to the English or the Welsh for next week that anywhere from 50 metres out, this guy can slot them.
Across the advantage line again, the French go. Michalak, wonderful skills. Depth, he's been very sound tonight for Ireland in that 15 jersey. Behind a losing side, he's hardly made a mistake. Maggs got it away for Humphries, back for Maggs again. That's good play. O'Driscoll, great body strength, great skills. Now they've turned it over, unfortunately. Now Benson takes it away. The Dominici, the lightweight winger for France. And smashed to the ground and into touch.
Yannick Brou coming back there, the reserve hooker for France. General play, ball's come back accidental, so that's why we saw play on.
Splendid tackle by Keith Gleeson on Dominici.
And we see Bruzet, far side, down injured, and that's what the French don't want now. In the last 9 minutes of this game, they want to get out of it without injury. Good passing in between. O'Driscoll, he's going to keep fighting. Look at the brute strength he's got there, the power and the agility. Gets the one-handed pass away. Good skills all round by Easterby, Guy Easterby, that is. But again, it breaks down.
Yeah, worry there for Olivier Bruzet. He played in the World Cup at 95 and 99 as well. And tonight has equalled the record of 15 games for the French in the World Cup by Abdelatif Benazzi. A man, Simon, that you have absolute respect for, Benazzi.
One of the hard men, one of the hardest men ever in French rugby, Benazzi. Olivier Bruzet leads the field.
And Pepito Elorga, the flying winger from Agen, is warming up on the touchline. Bruzet has stayed on.
As we wait for Jonathan Kaplan to come across, getting a little bit of a technical assistance with his microphone. Just holds the game up for a fraction.
Kaplan, of course, refereed Ireland against Romania, Scotland against USA, and England-Samoa. And the England-Samoa game and this one tonight, both at the Telstra Dome in Melbourne, have been the pick of the matches for the Melbourne fans.
And Bruzet finally relents and comes off the field.
Now Keith Wood, kick and chase again by the hooker. This time it's into touch on the fall. That's what you're more adept about for front row forwards, Dan.
Yeah, stick to the basics. Sometimes it helps.
Can't remember me seeing you do that, man.
Rougeray in his flanker at the back of the line out.
Yannick Brou, that throw is not straight. Humphries, advantage being played to the French. Betson, Liebenberg. Palouse goes over the top for the French. Now they go right-hand side. Yannick Brou, replacement hooker for Ibanez. Now Michalak steps, darts and probes, makes it available for his captain Fabien Galthier. Now Olivier Magna spent some time off the field when Ibanez was in the blood bin, in the sin bin. Galtier, Liebenberg. Just relentless pressure by the French. Turnover ball. But the referee will play the scrum feed to France. So into the final stages. Kept him off the ground well, the Irish.
And who is that man underneath? But the ball avenger, Keith Wood. Minutes to go and he's still in there scrapping as if it was his first test.
And it could well be his last. A decision made by the Irish captain after this game tonight. A career that started back in 1994 against the Australians. 2 Lions tours. The heart and soul of Irish rugby. Betson, Cameroon-born, has had a superb game in the back row for Ireland and for France tonight. There's Manu at the breakdown again. Galtier, Michalak, Liebenberg. Wood affects the tackle. Palus. Knocked forward by France.
Let's get on your feet before you play.
In fact, the penalty for not staying on the feet. Here goes Keith Wood. Kicking down inside French territory. Dominici soccer skills. That's brusque. And offside ruled. So a chance for Ireland. Morgan.
The guy used to be coming flying through.
Ball available. Stringers off, needs to be on. Keith Wood puts the head down. Wouldn't he like to score his 6th World Cup try tonight in his final appearance? Now O'Driscoll's got space on the left-hand side. Couldn't get the pass away. They had numbers.
Oh, great tackle round the bootlaces by Tobacco.
Easterby away with Humphreys. Penalty. Chance now for the Irish. Humphreys. O'Driscoll held up, try. 2nd try for Brian O'Driscoll. The 3rd for the Irish. And they have avoided the humiliation of their worst defeat in a quarter-final of the World Cup. That came against France in 1995, a 24-point loss.
Well, the tanks are not empty in the Irish team. There's still a bit of petrol. They're not giving up. That's the 2nd try for him, and what a great player.
What fantastic character from this Irish side. Never say die, and O'Driscoll, their best player, possibly the best centre in the world, scores 2 tonight. Eddie O'Sullivan, he's made a huge impact on this Irish side.
And David Humphreys becomes the highest point scorer for Ireland in World Cup rugby, beating Ralph Key's record of 68 points. In the end, a 22-point loss by Ireland. A farewell for that man in picture. Triumph for the experienced Captain Galtier. World Rugby says, Keith Wood, thanks for some memories that's lasted 9 years. He's been a superb player for the Irish. Tonight, they just couldn't live up to it. They trailed by 27-0. In the end, they were defeated by 43-21, although they outscored France 21-16 in the 2nd half. 43-21, France go through to the World Cup semi-final.
Don Burke's Ugly Dog Fight.
Don Burke should stick to gardening and leave dogs to us.
Promoting crossbreeding. Now, outraged experts, even his ex-TV vet, bite back as we uncover the scandal of puppy breeding factories. Plus, killer utes on our roads.
Our whole life was turned upside down.
Now, the shock safety tests.
It's the lives of others that they might injure or kill.
Plus, this worth this and this worth this. Exposing the massive jewellery markups. On Today Tonight.
Better than being there. Your new Sony widescreen TV from Harvey Norman. Check this all new model. 86 centimetres of glorious Sony Vega Vision. More detail than ever before with super fine pitch FD Trinitron technology. Built for the future with high definition inputs and direct memory stick slot. All for $5,999 plus bonus high definition digital set-top box and bonus Foxtel All-Star installation. Wow, great game, great set. Available now from Harvey Norman.
Except no imitations. Wild turkey. Real Kentucky bourbon.
Guess what's in a biscuit?
Be the envy of your neighbours with everything for a great backyard at the lowest prices every day. Like assorted paintbrushes, just $1.50 each. Portable flatlight, only $14.98. Cabot's 4-litre natural decking oil, a low $53.26. Tea handle, spade or fork, only $8.98 each. Italian terracotta pots, just 82 cents each. And if you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Try time.
And here's a great play, Kevin Matt. Going for the prize. Try to Ireland.
Great shot of the Mags run. Boy, didn't they need it at that stage. It was 37-0 in the second half, but to Ireland's credit, they scored 21 points after that to 6, but France so impressive, 43-21. And they're the first of tonight's quarterfinals, obviously through to the semi. So it's New Zealand, Australia, France against now either England or Wales. So here's the Irish. There in the huddle, Eddie O'Sullivan, their coach, in the middle. And we saw Keith Wood with Gautier, which I thought was just fabulous after the match. The two great captains, they're two great leaders.
Reminiscent of the famous the famous rugby league photo of the gladiators with their arms around each other after the game. I always thought it was a wonderful game, and I'm glad that Ireland wasn't humiliated. They've been wonderful competitors in this cup, and they didn't deserve to go out 50-0, so it was great that they came back into it.
But they did get to 37-0 at one stage with this first try in the second half, and it had all the French flair.
Michalak, isn't that lovely? Mania straight over to their number 8, and then back to the prop, straight over Krenker. He looks like Raphael Ibanez, but he's not. But how innovative. That is so typically French, to create something out of nothing. Little basketball, allez, up, Straight over, thank you.
Humour me, Fitzy. Please say netball when if you're going to say that. But when you look at that, the last bit of vision that we saw, it was fantastic. But what we didn't see and what came through in the game was how much work they did in their lead-up. And one of the things I think that the French showed during that game was their ability to be incredibly patient in the lead-up to different things. And they finished that off with such a great try.
Their clean-out was outstanding tonight, just the speed of the ball after in the rucks, and they weren't committing many players to the breakdown, so they had a lot of players to attack, so that was quite interesting.
Did you have the impression that once they got up to 37-0, that's enough now, guys, let's just keep our powder dry, we've got England next week, and just go, cruise on through? They didn't show everything that they had.
Getting a little bit ahead of yourself, I think one of the things that Bernard Laporte might have a little bit of a problem with going into next week's game is they showed a little bit of lack of discipline towards the end of that, probably towards the end of the game, in the last quarter of the match.
Yeah, I suppose we should give Irish some credit, as we always do, but certainly Brian O'Driscoll was fantastic tonight and so inspirational as a player.
Can I say how good too it is to see that sort of flair, like the alley-oop I mentioned, like Carlos Spencer last night, where he just put it between his legs. I love rugby like that, and we don't see much of it.
But you also have to love the Irish play here. One of the reasons that Kevin Maggs scored that first try was because he did what the Irish team didn't do in the first half, which was run very hard at the gaps. And here you see O'Driscoll, fantastic skills with one hand. He's got such a great presence of mind. It's a shame we won't see any more of him in this World Cup.
Isn't it extraordinary with Driscoll when you see something like that? He starts from 2 metres up, and his hand somehow comes down. How hard would it be not to bounce that ball?
Does he remind you of Horan at all?
Absolutely of Horan. Horan never made a mistake. Look at this one. And again there, how did he score a try like that? He's got 3 guys on him, the line right there, and somehow he swivels over and gets the ball down.
Well, they saved a bit of pride towards him, but Keith Wood's going to be disappointed, the Irish captain, after the match.
Keith Wood, Ireland captain, a hugely disappointing end to your World Cup.
Yeah, very disappointing. I don't know, we just didn't play in the first half. It's really disappointing, but I think we can hold our heads up. We tried very hard in the second half, and we tried very hard.
You had 2 very tough games. Did that take too much out of you?
I don't think we make any excuses. We tried our damnedest out there. Just it didn't come up. I think our first half let us down, which is the worst we've played maybe in the tournament. But and it was almost an impossible task after that. But we did try. We did put everything into it.
He's spent, isn't he? And you think the 3 hard games they've had, Argentina, Australia and the French tonight. But Michalak is the man on everybody's lips right now. He has been the star of this World Cup. His ability, James, to create could cause some problems for every other team left in.
Yeah, we've seen some fantastic pieces of play from Michalak. We saw him make a break, and this bit of play we actually see him with the cross kick. The ball comes in, it's beautifully clean ball and quickly goes out wide. From Michalak, throws a perfect ball out to Rougerie. And as we see, the blind winger's actually caught on the wrong side of the field, John Kelly. Now, as we continue the play on, Michalak spotted this, and out lurking on the wing, Haranaduki is right on the sideline, just waiting. We can see it here. We'll soon see him come into screen. The front row is caught out here on the wing. What's going on there? And we see Haranaduki come from the clouds and come in on this angle for a perfectly weighted kick into space. And the bounce of the ball, terrible for Gervin Dempsey, but right on the spot, Haranaduki, Tony Marsh, and of course Munya, he's always there. What a great player he's been for the French.
Haranaduki had a couple of good assists tonight, didn't he? That one and the one that you talked about too, Fitzy earlier. Well, Wood has been such a great leader for Ireland, so is Gaultier for France. He hasn't played his last match.
Fabien Gaultier, French captain, an impressive performance. You're through to the semi-finals.
Yes, yes. So it's very good, very happy for the team, for the French team, because it was an objective to arrive in semi-final. We know that today is going to be hard, but we start very well. We play a very good first half. The second was a little bit more difficult because we was very tired, but it's okay. We score 43 points to 21. We are very happy for the group, for the French, and for our country.
So through to yet another semi-final. Now, the man of the match?
I'd say Fabien Gaultier. I thought he was terrific.
He had a great match, and he really, and he fired up his troops so well.
Well, it was Brian O'Driscoll, 39%.
We weren't even close.
Michalak at 30%. I was a bit cruel, actually knew that. Sorry, Fitz. Michael Yang of Murrumbina in Victoria, congratulations to you, and this is what you've won.
Each man of the match winner takes home $1,000 cash from GIO and this fantastic Samsung V200 phone with unique 180-degree rotating camera. Plus, everyone goes into the draw for $20,000 cash from GIO and a Samsung best seat in the house 42-inch widescreen plasma TV with a stylish swivel floor stand. Plus, a 15-inch widescreen LCD TV, perfect for the bedroom, kitchen or study. The total prize value is $11,500. The winner will be announced after the final on November 22.
Keep phoning in because we have a man of the match on our second match tonight. Shortly, Elton Flatley, as we take a look at the Wallabies. But speaking of that second match, the build-up's already started at Suncorp, England and Wales, and amongst them, Victoria Carthew.
Well, Bruce, the English fans have made Brisbane their home away from home for the past fortnight. Every corner you turn, every pub you walk into, there they are. And that makes Suncorp Stadium an